Hello, beautiful people, wherever you are, whatever time you're in, and wherever you are living. Today, I'm going to talk to you about light workers because I feel as though there's a misnomer about them at times. And I want to note that as I do this, it is 11:11 a.m. where I am. So there you go. I want to talk about the different types of light workers. There are 12 of them that I could find, and I believe when I give them to you that they're not in any particular order. I want you to recognize that, and that each one of them is just as important as the other one is, and you can add to them. Some of you may have more than one type of light work that you're doing, but all of us are light workers, every single one of us. So, you can wear that proudly. And a lot of us did that before we knew what our particular gifts were. We knew that we were tiny pinpricks of light. And I want you to think of it this way as well. When we were younger, we used to play tug of war when we were in elementary school. And, it was a great effort to see which team was going to win. Of course, now it doesn't matter because now it's all about ego. So I'm not really invested in playing games like that anymore. But when we did it, we wanted to build a team. We wanted to build a team, and we wanted to have somebody at the end that could really dig their heels in and be the one that held the most. But every single person on each team had a particular role to play. And if everybody played that role and they did it all at the same time, then that team would be a force to be reckoned with. So I'd like to think of yourself as being on a tug of war team. The other side doesn't have to necessarily be negative in any way, but we do want to chase away the negative elements that might be inhabiting the areas around us or around others, because it's very easy for us to be complacent and not hold our bubble of protection at times. So there are 12 types that I found, and we are all transforming the world. And you know what? It would be great if you were all 12, but even if you're one, and you all are at least one, please know that what you do is very, very important, very vital. So the first one is the grid workers. The grid workers work on the particular grids of the earth, and also they work on the gateways and the portals. So if you go to a magical place like Sedona, or you go to Santa Fe, or you go to some of these Taos, New Mexico, there are a lot of sacred spaces here on the earth. These people protect those grids and protect those portals and those gateways from anything that might be trying to get in, I guess, through things. We see this with places like Mount Shasta. We see this with places like Mount Rainier, and I'm sure there's other places that probably have also some ET energies around them and lenticular clouds. So being a grid worker is an important thing, just like the rest of all these are. The second one is the transmuters. These are frequency workers that transmute negative energy. These can include people who do energy work. They can include people who also do energy work, not on people, but on animals, on the land, on other places. And they want to take whatever is perceived to be as negative and transmute that into the light. And many times when we do a healing from Mother Earth, we sort of take and encapsulate some of that and then send it down to the core of the earth where it's so hot that it will just dissipate. So you'll see that as well. Do people know they do these things? Some people do. Some people, just by virtue of the fact that they are walking this earth, are automatically in that category, because where they go, this happens. And this is how you find out what type of light worker you are. The next one is the light keepers. These are the people that embody light, that shine. You'll see them. You'll come across them, and they have this aura around them that is just gorgeous. And you're almost drawn to their energies. It just feels so good. It's like when you meet a soul that you connect with completely. It's such a fabulous experience of sort of immersion in that light. When my husband and I were living in a place that was very dark, And not only that, but working in a place that was very dark. We considered ourselves to be the light keepers for that area when we were there. And what we did was we transmute the energy of the negativity that would come through the door every day where we worked. And eventually it became lighter, kinder, and more beneficial to the rest of the community. Not saying, we're great and all that. No, but we just made a conscious decision that we were going to do that because the energies of that area were so dark and dismal. The fourth one is the healers. These are people with gifts to heal humanity. There are many of them. We've seen them embodied in such people as the Dalai Lama, Desmond Tutu, Gandhi, probably Martin Luther King. They had the gift. They had the gift of talk. They had the gift of being able to be present. They had the gift of love, and they emanate that gift to the world. And you yourself could be one of these people. Microcosm, macrocosm. So sometimes we work in the macrocosm and sometimes only in the microcosm. Does it still matter? Oh, yeah. You can hold light for your home, for your community, for your state, for your country. It's exponential. Okay. The next one is the seers. These are the light workers that are clairvoyant. They're the ones that we look to for answers. And there are a lot of clairs, and we've talked, I have, and other people have talked a lot about the other types of clairs. For instance, mine is claircognizance, which is I just know something. I don't necessarily always see it, hear it, smell it, taste it, but I know it. And usually my gut tells me that this is so true. But there are the seers. They're the visionaries. They're the people who can see something way down the road and know that that is going to work for them and for others in a very positive way. The next one is the divine blueprint holders. They are adept at tuning their tuning in to their template and retrieving codes of awakening. All right. Think about people who say, I got a download last night. I got a download. Or I had a dream and I had all these, or the Akashic records. I was able to access the Akashic records. I was able to retrieve codes for awakening, codes that would help me and other folks. And honestly, I've heard this more and more recently than I ever heard it before. So these are called the divine blueprint holders. They know what the divine blueprint is. They hold that and they transmute that into the community as a way of showing, holding the light. The next one is the Astral Travelers. Ooh, so much fun. If you can do that, it's such a wonderful experience. These are people that can do lucid dreaming and astral traveling. Their focus is the dream work and how that happens. So I would say my dream detective, Kate, who works with me, is one of those kinds of light workers. She's probably some of the other ones too, but I can identify that she is one of those, definitely one of those people who carries that kind of light. The next one is the messengers. These are those who get messages from angels, masters, or even their higher self. Susan Lynn is like this. Linda G is like this. Medium Kim is like this. There are many others that are like this. And they are able to go into a semi-conscious, I guess is the best word, state and get information from their guides, information from the universe. And they were able to bring that back to the rest of us so that we understand what's going on. Not everybody can do that, just like not everybody can be a medium. But, there are qualities that you can study if you're interested in these types of things, because these things do build, as I said, upon themselves. Remember that rope tugging. Sometimes you're at the front, sometimes you're in the middle, and sometimes you're the grunt at the end, trying to hold everything together. Then there are the manifestors, and these people have powerful and instant manifestations. My best example of the manifestors and how they teach us through their light work is Esther Hicks, who does Abraham Hicks. There are other people that do that kind of work as well, that we know of. And I know that we can be powerful manifestors. At the very least, we have to be very careful with our words. And when a new moon comes along, we can take some of those things that we want to manifest and put them out into the universe in a very positive way, including peace, including our own peace of mind. Then there are the way showers. Dolores Cannon was a way shower. She wrote about the way showers. She is a way shower, or was a way shower. She is one of those people who lead by example. That is what I consciously wish to be. I am a work in progress, and I believe that if I think about what it is that I need to do in my Buddhist ideas, then I can show you how to be that kind of person, if I can even learn the lesson myself. So I think we all have the capacity to do this. And I think that maybe we even have to realize that that can change over time. We may not have had that capacity in the beginning of our lives. I don't believe I did. But as we move into other parts of our life, we can see that we have the capacity to be a way shower, to show people and to give people affirmation that what they're doing is right, that they need to believe in themselves to find the confidence they need in order to do something like start a channel, work in the realms, whatever it is that they need to do, just giving somebody a little bit more of a chance to grow and allow for that to happen. Then there are the unifiers, those who find unifying themes in diverse patterns and philosophies. Absolutely. There's a lot of unifying themes and philosophies that show us that mystic religions are all the same in their mysticism. Now, all religions have basically the same kind of structures. Some are a little tighter than others. Some have different names for what they do, and different gods and goddesses and so on. But people who unify take what they know and they bring that into a huge ball, and they say, what works for me? I discern this works for me. I discern that works for me. This isn't so much what I want. And they unify what they can, and then they explain it to other people to make more sense of what it is that they're going through. Symbology does this as well. And I believe that we have a lot of unifiers out there, especially readers. Readers have to be unifiers. They have to look at images, and they have to be able to discern what they mean to your particular question. So there's a lot of us out there that do that. All right. The next one is the Ascension Guides. Those are those who help people overcome pitfalls in their enlightenment process. I've seen a lot of people that can do this as well. In other words, if you're feeling down, a spiritual counselor, a shaman, with those types of people that can help you to figure out what kind of pitfalls you fall into and how you can uplift those and become more of what you are, more and shed more light into the world. There's a very beautiful idea about from George, not George W., but his father, George Herbert Walker Bush. There's something he said. He was not one of my favorite people, but he did say something, and I really loved it, and I really have listened to that in my own heart and felt it. And that is that there are tiny points of light. He said there were tiny points of light all over the earth. And I see that. And at the very least, that is what light working is. Tiny points of light all over the earth, all over the galaxy, probably, that hold together the invisible net. That's why when the internet became very popular at the time, a lot of people said, wow, we have a web. We have a web of light. We have an interconnected web. Some people have obviously taken that and made very negative sense out of it and done things that weren't very good with it. Other people have done wonderful things with it and can see, just like the unifiers, where those diverse things come together and where we can learn how to be our very best light-working self. Namaste and thank you. Have a wonderful day, you light workers. Go spread your light. Go shine.